Hey guys, we're back for another the Boy Brothers Void with another video about this week's Miss Marvel. This week is episode 3, and we are starting to get some answers and more questions about what the deal is with Kamala and her lineage and her and the people learning about what's going on with the bangle and why they need it, what's going on with her, and with what the people that are trying to help her out in the last episode were doing, or with the were doing, and what they want to do with the bangle. Um, Overall, I think this week's episode was good, but I feel like it's kind of dragging in spots. I feel like they're kind of slowing down and rushing up a few things. I feel like the whole deal with the clandestine group was a little bit rushed, but I think we could have drawn that out just a little bit more, in my opinion. But overall, I'm still really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying the world that's built around Kamala a lot. And I really do think this is going to be a sleeper hit series that a lot of people are really going to really talk about for some time to come because of how unique it is. How about you, Josh? What did you think of the episode?
I thought it was a really good episode. I think we're in the middle of the series and we're getting some of those like almost filler, but not filler. We're getting a few questions answered, but a few more questions opened up. The whole clandestine thing and the Jin thing was really interesting. And the way they brought it in was a pretty good way to do that. I feel like that is Marvel once again reaching in their bag and their back catalog and pulling in something that not many people know about. The Clandestine was a group of superheroes and villains that appeared in the comics years ago.
Yes, created by the great Alan Davis. The Clandestine is definitely worth checking out, if just for his wonderful art alone.
All right, what about you, Chris?
Yeah, this episode probably was one of my favorites so far. Like you said, with the whole clandestine thing, it seems like it happened pretty fast. She's like, "Yes, I'll help," and then like 5 seconds later, they're like, "We don't have time to wait for her to help." So we start, we get that fight scene that starts automatically. So that was kind of fast and loose play, but I get what Marvel's doing. They're telling this story. We got years of story that we need to tell, and we got 6 episodes, so we got to tell as much as we can. But the good thing about these series are you've got 6 hours to tell that movie story instead of just a 2-hour movie. So we get a little bit more. I hate to call it filler, but we actually get a little bit more story. And like I said, this one was probably my favorite so far. It held my attention better than most of them. The first one was good. The second one was okay, but this one kind of put us on the track, kind of seeing, okay, here's the bad guys, here's the good guys, here's what we're going to be dealing with. Damage control came in and did some things and actually took the clandestine out at the end, which was pretty interesting because they're supposed to be so powerful, but damage control must have known what they were doing because they handled it really well. So yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I'm having fun watching it, and I think that's what's important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm still on board. Definitely. I mean, minor nitpicks, but I mean, I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Obviously, just because you have minor nitpicks, that seems to be the way of the internet, and doesn't work for me. But anyways, let's talk about what our favorite scene in this episode was, and I'm going to go ahead and say that my favorite thing was the Bollywood dance number, which was just freaking fantastic. I loved every moment of that. It's just so out of left. Well, it wasn't kind of out of left field, but it was something you weren't really expecting. But it was just really well done and really enjoyable to watch. How about you guys?
Yeah, once again, they leaned into her heritage and her culture, which made it really good. Is this the episode where she gets her mask, or was that episode 2?
It was this episode.
It was this
She
episode.
unwrapped the box of the thing
Yeah.
and she got her mask, but she didn't put it on yet.
Right. I couldn't remember if it was this episode or not. I really like that scene where she's sitting outside and she's questioning herself because of all the people talking and the I don't know the correct term for the Muslim priest or rabbi who came out and spoke with her. But I thought that was a really great scene with him letting her know we're not good, we do good. You know, I thought that was a really cool way to look at it.
Yeah, that was very cool. I would have to say my favorite scene was the fight scene when she used her power and we finally got to see that giant fist come out and punch somebody, which I've been waiting for because, I mean, if you know Miss Marvel's power, that's what she does. And just to be able to see her do that and watch that giant fist and actually see it done like in live action, because we've seen it for years in the comics and everything, and they're like, this will never work, but we kind of got a sense of that with the old Fantastic Four movies, but this is like that, elevated 100% because it looks so much better. That's just how much technology's changed and how good they can make things look, where it doesn't look, like it's some stupid thing. It actually makes sense for her hand to be coming out and knocking somebody out with this gigantic fist. So
I'm waiting to see the shape shifting come into play at some point because that's another key part of her powers.
And I
right.
kind of felt like her powers were almost reflexive, like her reflexes were kicking in to defend and to fight back, that she was subconsciously using them.
One thing I wanted to ask you,
she's been training too, so I think it's helping a little bit, but yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you guys, though, is I kind of noticed a lot of her punches and stuff all come from that same wrist that has the bangle. Do you think maybe if she has the other bangle, it'll open up the other side? Because I've got to watch a little closer, but I think everything comes off of that one arm right now for some reason.
I'd have to watch again and see, but I wouldn't be shocked by that. But like, it is kind of powering up over our entire body when she puts the bangle on too. So I don't know. They did say that the bangle was unlocking powers within her, and it really does make me wonder if the other bangle will just kind of open up the entirety of her powers when that happens.
Right. Yeah.
I'm
speaking of the, go ahead, Josh.
Seeing where that other bangle's at, and the subtle little hints in the show this week, like that opening scene when we see the 10 rings. And then when Bruno is researching, he mentions Dr. Selvig. I thought those were pretty cool, like connections to make to the bigger Marvel universe.
Right. And speaking of the bangle, we finally get like a little bit of a backstory. If you watched last week, you noticed they introduced a character who we all assumed was her great grandmother. But we find out later, and thanks to this opening scene in episode 3, that it's not her great grandmother. It's actually an explorer who was with her great grandmother when they found one of the bangles. And so when they found the bangle, they actually pulled an arm up out of. Looked like we were in India, so we were in a crypt, and the arm and the hand itself was blue, which leads me to believe that we're going to have some kind of connection to a Kree thing there, which would make sense because we get the whole Captain Marvel added in. What did you guys think? Do you feel like that's a Kree connection there, or?
I feel like that too, and I'm going to do a little reckless speculation, and I'm going to say that I feel like Kamala and her family are connected to the Kree in some way, shape, or form, whether it's half human, half Kree or something, but definitely something is going on with the Kree there with her and her family in some way, shape, or form. Maybe even her great grandmother might be Kree. Something somewhere I feel like is the Kree is involved.
Yeah, and that bangle could be Kree technology.
Yeah,
absolutely. So one thing I was thinking is, she has the bangle, but is this the same bangle? Probably not. Her great grandmother still probably has the other ones. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see her at some point, unless, of course, her grandmother may have the bangle herself because, as we noticed at the end of this episode, I just kind of jump ahead. Her grandmother called her and said, "Hey, you need to come to, I guess it was India or wherever, right
Karachi.
now." So
Karachi.
yeah,
Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Yep.
Yeah, so something's going on there. Hopefully, we'll see where it goes from there next week. Um, so, yeah. My far favorite scene was the hand punching thing. I did love the Bollywood dance. I thought that was pretty fun. They're always fun to watch, just to see the choreography and stuff that they do. And I'll kind of mirror Josh. He texted me earlier, and he said he was losing it when her friend Bruno was trying to get in there and dance too. So that was basic white boy dancing, which we're all very accustomed to because we're all basic white boys and we kind of do those dances. So yeah, so overall impressions on this episode, it's kind of one thing. I'll go ahead and give my take on it. Really enjoyed it. Kind of cool to see, the villains kind of show their face. I was happy to see that her friend Cameron kind of didn't stick with his crew there and kind of was more, for her than he was for them. So I thought that was pretty cool, and just being able to see the fight scene and see her powers being recognized. Overall, I'd say this is probably maybe my favorite episode by far. So, Josh, how about you? What do you think about the episode?
I enjoyed this one. I'm glad to see. Like, I was worried Cameron was going to become a bad guy and she was going to have to fight him. I do like that. I'm interested to see how his powers are going to surface because he does have a precedent for having powers in the comics. I feel like next week will be an episode to push us farther forward by her and her mom going to Karachi and really get us set up for the finale, the last 2 episodes.
Definitely. I think like this next week is definitely going to be a big answers revealed and push the story forward because we now know where everything is going, who the villains are, what the stakes are. Definitely feel like once we get there and get some answers, we can really get into the meat and bones of getting this getting the the final showdown and everything going.
Right. And I know next week is episode 4, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here because it's usually 5 or 6 where we get the cameo slash. You guys' thoughts? Who do you think we're getting? Daniel, you want to go first?
I don't know. Trying to think who would probably be a good fit. I know they've been kind of teasing Blade even from the Eternals, so I wonder if that would be a good fit. I know they kind of wanted to. There was a rumor going around that they wanted to throw throw one of the Eternals in the Moon Knight. So, but they kind of backed off on it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see somebody like Blade or something at some point in this series.
I don't think we're going there. Because this is leading to Miss Marvel being part of the Marvels, I think Sword is going to show up to push damage control off, and we're going to get Monica Rambeau.
Probably much better than I was thinking. Definitely, Monica would be a good bet for the series.
That's what I was thinking too. I don't know if we're, where you get Carol Danvers to show up, but because she is Captain Marvel, but Monica would be the obvious choice. I would love to see this because I feel like this is kind of going to tie into Secret Invasion too.
Yeah.
So if we could get like a Samuel Jackson, or because he has done TV before, we've seen him in Agents of Shield, or maybe even we get the character that I can't think of her name right now. She was on Game of Thrones. Maybe she kind of makes an appearance somewhere.
Yeah, Emilia Clarke.
Yeah, Emilia Clarke. There you go.
She's going to be
we
in.
Could get the scroll. We could get the scrolls that were in hiding out on Earth is at the end of the
as Nick and Maria.
Yeah,
absolutely. During Spider-Man.
Talos.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, Talos would be cool as well. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where we go because everything with Marvel is always the setup. We're always setting up the next thing. Um, but we also know that we're in the very near future. We've got a motion picture coming out, Thor: Love and Thunder. I hope you guys are excited for that one. I am super excited. I saw a new trailer this week, and they got screaming goats in there, and I think that's the most awesome thing ever.
Yes.
So nothing like a good old screaming goat. So it looks like that's all the time we've got this week, but we've enjoyed talking to you guys about Miss Marvel. Looking forward to next week. I think it's going to be just a lot of fun. Like I said, it's been a lot of fun. So thankful we have these shows now, and that we're getting these episodic shows, and makes us kind of feel like when we were young, we used to watch stuff like the A-Team. We had to wait a week to see the next one, but it was always worth it. So if you like what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button. Tell your friends about us. We want to hit that 100 mark. We're trying to get there, and we want to keep giving you guys good videos here to watch and just some more stuff to chew on. Go down there in the comments and let us know what you liked or didn't like, and we can all agree to disagree, and everything will be good because we're all family and we love it, and that's what we love to do. We love to talk about this stuff. Daniel, you want to tell us about the socials we have there?
Sure. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
TikTok,
Snapchat. Yeah, anywhere you can think of as social media, we are probably there. Some of us have more access than others. Trying to get checked in, but we do like to post pretty regularly, especially Instagram. We're pretty regular up there. So always check us out. We'll have the links down here below to check it out with. And always also check out, go to your local comic shop and pick up comics, because that is the lifeblood of this industry. We wouldn't even have these shows to watch if we didn't have the comic shops and the comics.
Absolutely.
And leave us in the comments what you were predicting is going to come next in Miss Marvel and where you think the connections are, so we can comment back and have some discussion on that, guys. And until we see you next time, we will see you at the shop, and
Excelsior.
Excelsior.